back to another episode of the Filmaholic. This is our happy hour edition, and today we got a lot of news for you guys, so we're going to jump right into it and try to cover everything that I have on the list here. But the first thing, obviously, if you don't know about this, you're living under a rock, and that's the coronavirus. All over the news right now. It's affecting so many things, not just people and their, just normal lives, but films getting pushed back, NBA being canceled, all of this different stuff. So we're going to jump right into that involving film. The first thing, when I started coming up with ideas yesterday, at the time, the only thing that had been stopped, I think, was the production on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I had wrote that down. Also, last night, I know, Ethan, you mentioned that Peter Rabbit 2 was pushed back. I know there was something else that was kind of big. I feel like that might have been pushed back. Or James Bond. That we already talked about that. That was the first thing that was pushed back. Was pushed to November, which makes sense to me. They did a smart way with putting it where it should have been to begin with, and then all these other shows have stopped production, causing some problems. But today, a shitstorm has happened. Like, all of this different stuff's been put on hold. We got Mulan that's been put on hold indefinitely. Antlers, and what was the other Disney film?
Oh,
The New Mutants. It's never coming out now. It's gone. And then also Fast and the Furious 9. I know you were heartbroken about this.
I actually was.
Pushed back 11 months, all the way till April 2021. So, what do you guys think? The Quiet Place 2, yes, it's coming out in 1 week, has now been put as well on definite hold. Obviously, it'll come out, but there's no release date for it.
And I don't know if you're aware, but Mission Impossible production was paused on February 29th for 3 weeks. So I think they might extend that with how the last 24 hours has just been crazy.
Okay. Yeah, probably so.
Yeah. It's like just to expand on that further when it comes to film, like Trump has put ban on European travel. The NCAA has yet to say anything about their events. As you just mentioned, the NBA has suspended the season. Major League Soccer here in the U.S. has suspended the season for 30 days. Right now in European competition has either been postponed or played in closed doors. And I was watching a couple of games. It was just watching a training session. Hockey has I think suspended their season or delayed it. The Olympics, the Euros, the NFL has yet to be determined anything. So it's just been and I think the New World Health whatever has posted something on Twitter today about now saying pretty much is yeah, take care of yourselves kind of thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. The NBA thing, I definitely understand why they would do that, because there's so many people just crammed in, in a stadium, or especially with basketball and being indoors, everyone's just packed in there together. And then you also got these athletes that, can't risk getting sick anyway. So it makes sense for them to suspend the NBA season as well as other sports. But I feel like for the films, the production stuff, well, not just the Falcon and Winter Soldier and shows like that, but also, we have a lot of shows like Ellen and Jimmy Fallon and stuff like that which I think I just read that Jimmy Fallon, they've stopped production completely. But other shows like Ellen that have live audiences, they've stopped doing live audiences, and it's just them filming with just them, which makes sense. But as far as the movies and the releases go, I know they're saying is for everyone's safety, but I really think the main thing here for that is it's a business decision. Correct. It's a money thing. 100% why you wouldn't release Mulan, on its scheduled release day. It's you don't want to risk losing. And same thing with James Bond. You don't want to lose, not just in America, but an international market, the money you would be making on this film from people not going out to the cinema.
And especially how got the situation is in China, and with China being the second biggest movie market.
Exactly, especially for action films.
Yeah. But what else? Well, I had something else here. And then like possibly Black Widow could possibly be like postponed, like possibly like on the last minute.
See,
Stay with a Quiet Place.
I'm really worried that it is. But Ethan, I know you have some opinions on this, so you go ahead on that.
I have a few opinions on this coronavirus garbage. I'm so tired of hearing about it. But like I told you, I don't think Black Widow is getting pushed back because Marvel's on a slate. They've got all these films lined up, shows. Like you've got to keep somewhat to that. So like you said, if you push it back, the latest you can do it is July 4th.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about that until you mentioned it, but
yeah,
like you said, I think July 4th is the latest you can push that movie back, unless you push other stuff back as well. Like we don't know how long this virus shit is going to be happening, but Falcon and Winter Soldier, we don't know how much they've actually filmed either, or at least I don't. But that's scheduled to come out in August, so
that might be till Christmas possibly.
Well, you see, if they push Falcon and Winter Soldier back, then that messes up the whole Disney Plus thing, because you look at their fall slate. They have Falcon and Winter Soldier coming out in August, and just say it covers 2 months, like as far as the episodes releasing. That's the way the Mandalorian kind of did, was November, December. So Falcon and Winter Soldier is August, September. You got Mandalorian October, November, and then WandaVision December, January. So they have it planned out where they have these shows, these big shows that's bringing people in, spread out enough that they're going to keep people coming back to Disney Plus. It's also right around the time that everyone's subscription is going to be renewing. So you got to think about that, but also like even if they were to like delay it a month to September or whatever, and you let Falcon, Winter Soldier, and Mandalorian bleed in together, there's no way that you let Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision come out around the same time. So there's got to be distance between that and New Mutants, or not New Mutants, sorry. The Eternals comes out in November. So you got that going on. So like you got to have Black Widow come out before all of that. And then also you got to think about Morbius, and we don't know how that's going to tie into the MCU, but they also have a working relationship with Sony, and they don't want to like have those movies compete. And that comes out in July. So I would think that Black Widow would have to come out at least 2 or 3 weeks before Morbius.
Well, isn't it the next 3 years? They have 4 Marvel movies coming out every year.
Starting in 2021?
Yeah.
If you're including Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got a hefty slate you got to keep up with, so you can only push it back so much.
Right.
So, I mean, I understand why you pushed everything else back, because you got nothing else that ties in with it. But with the MCU movies, you've got a plan. You've got to pretty much just stick to it.
I think right now they're thinking about it probably. They're just looking at their game plan, because I feel like somebody is saying the same things we are. It's like, hey, we could push it back, but if we do, it's still got to come out by the beginning of July. So like, do we think things are going to be better by then, or do we think things are going to be worse? Like, what do we think is going to be happening? What are these other movies going to be doing? When are we releasing those? Because Milan, you can really release anytime. I think, honestly, at this point, you should push that till the fall. Maybe put it around Christmas time. I think that might be a good, because you don't have a Star Wars movie coming out this year.
Nope.
Or Avatar. I don't think that starts until next year.
Yeah, it's next year.
So Disney doesn't have a Christmas movie that I know of, so maybe they'll move that to December.
As long as Dune doesn't get pushed back.
Well, I don't know. That depends on the other WB movies.
Oh man.
That I don't know what they're going to do with Quiet Place, when that might be pushed back to. That's interesting, because I think March.
Wasn't like the original like October for the first one?
The original was March as well, I believe, or April.
Yeah, it was March. Last week, March, I think.
And I think that's a good time for it. I think spring was a good time for it. Summer is going to get eaten up by other movies. They could push it back to fall, but I don't know. At this point, I think for A Quiet Place, I might look to, and I don't really know what all's coming out around that time, but I would probably look to August or September and try to put it there.
What do you got? You got Halloween coming out this year.
In October, you have Halloween and Venom 2, so I definitely would not put it in October.
Yeah.
You could put it in September because you had the It movies come out in September and they did well, and you get ahead of the Halloween crowd, and it's out of the summer movie season, and there's not a lot of stuff comes out in September. So I would probably look to September and put it there. Same thing with Antlers. I think I would probably look to that same month and put it out.
But I think it's getting too real. That's what I think.
I mean, yeah, it's wild. I never thought that they would push this many films back. I'm trying to look real quick and see the upcoming stuff. Like, obviously nothing this week is getting pushed back, but Quiet Place was supposed to be next week, so there's like nothing coming out next week. Mulan got pushed back, nothing coming out. New Mutants pushed back. You got Trolls on April 10th, but like that's the only I'm not interested in that obviously, but that's like a bigger film, I guess.
Gotta go see
it.
My Spy and Antlers My Spy was another one I saw was pushed back. Antlers, so like Promising Young Woman on April 17th. At this point, nothing big is coming out at all until Black Widow, and that's May 1st. So, yeah, you got some smaller films, and this is, honestly, if I was a studio and I had a smaller film, I would try to shove it in. Even if you haven't had that much marketing, if you don't think that it's going to do that well, I would go ahead and put it out there, because at this point, you're not going to have much to compete with.
No.
It's just kind of make a call to Netflix and you just be like, yo, I got a proposition for you.
Yeah, put it out there, because I have like maybe 4 or 5 movies coming out, like including the ones coming out this weekend and a couple I haven't seen yet that I still need to catch up on. But then after that, it's like I don't have anything.
And like, we don't know what's going to happen within 6 or in a year either. Like, there's like 2 groups: the ones that it ain't shit, and to the ones that are like it ain't shit, but we should worry. Then it's the ones like the extremes. They're just kind of like setting the whole entire place on fire. We don't know what's going to happen right now. We're like in the beginning stages of this, so we honestly don't know what's going to happen. Which I hope turns out to be positive. And as of time of recording, I know the survive and death ratio is positive right now. So there's been more surviving rate than deaths as of right now. But yeah, like right now, honestly, I'll be like, everyone, no matter how you think about it, everyone should, like, if you're like an extreme side, worry about it, but be smart about it. And the ones that are not too about it, just, I think they should worry, but still carry on with their lives. Just keep a basic proper hygiene.
At this point,
this shit can possibly go up or down.
I think
guaranteed.
It's a serious thing, especially for a lot of people, and a lot of people have died from it, and that's awful. But I think that we'll move past it. I feel like it's like a swine flu type thing. I feel like it's gonna blow over eventually. I just wonder, as far as the film side of things go, how much this is going to eat into the summer movie season, because I think Black Widow is going to be the first sign of that, which it's really surprising with the Fast and Furious 9, because that was supposed to come out later in May and they already like dipped. But Black Widow is like the kickoff to the summer movie season.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that gets canceled or if they stay on. I think that'll be a sign for other films as well, looking to Black Widow, and also looking to see how Black Widow does, if it does stay in that spot, because if Black Widow doesn't meet expectations, it might be a reflection of this and people coming out to the movies or not coming out to the movies in response to the virus.
Yeah, it's like right now, I think movie theaters in Italy right now, they are up in northern Italy.
Well, I think Italy is pretty much closed down.
Yeah, pretty much they're closed down. China's closed down.
So
we're not sure how it's going to be here yet.
Yeah.
Possibly there might be something within the next 2 months, depending on how this goes. But despite all that, you also got to take in factor the people that are working in these movies. Like right now with Tom Hanks and his wife Rita Wilson, I think is her name.
Yeah.
like we're not like we might probably pick up a few like actors or actresses.
Man, they might have to push back Greyhound.
Yeah.
He's in Australia, so.
Yeah. So
But then even he said it's not, or I think it was their son that came out. They did a video. He said they feel fine. He said they were just tired. They wanted to go get a little feverish. They wouldn't get checked out. He said everything's fine. So I mean,
yeah. It's
not
just like a flu type.
People, yeah. So I don't understand the panic right now. I mean, I know it can affect a lot of people if you have health issues or if you're older, but I mean, for the common person, I mean, it's just another flu.
Yeah,
that's also my thing, because like I agree with Ethan, but like the other side of me is just kind of going like let's just take this in the context of like, again, like fucking sports. It's just like you go up against certain teams, you kind of go like, oh, you might get beat, but you win every single time. It's just like you're not sure this is guaranteed. And I think with the previous stuff that happened back in the day, I think we're feeling a bit too confident, which I think we should be optimistic, but at the same time we should, in the case, be smart about it and just kind of have like a what if scenario kind of thing.
All right, well, let's move on from this topic because we spent a lot of time on it. Let's kind of shift into what we've already been talking about, and that's Black Widow. Black Widow had a new trailer drop. What did you guys think of the trailer? Did you guys check it out?
I like the first one better.
Yeah.
I just watched it before we started doing this video. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot new there for me. I'm still super excited for the film. More Taskmaster in this trailer, I definitely feel like.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I feel like I know what the twist is going to be and what's going to happen. So,
I mean, one of the actors basically spoiled that he is Taskmaster because he put #TM on one of his tweets trailer, so he kind of fucked himself over.
There's other stuff, and I don't want to spoil this in the video, but
I spoiled it.
Well, I mean, that's just who's playing the character, but
yeah.
I feel like I know what's going to happen in the film, but like the trailer was good. I liked it. Really excited. Didn't really add to my excitement for the film though.
Yeah.
But I do like how they're trying to make her look a little bit in this movie like she did in Iron Man 2 with the long hair, long red hair.
Yeah.
Kind of like throwing it back to ending how she began in terms of in the MCU. So I like that. I also watched the new Jungle Cruise trailer. I am gonna see this movie, and I like Emily Blunt, like Dwayne Johnson. The last scene of the trailer with them on the rope swinging, thought that was kind of funny. The rest of the trailer, I'm gonna give a thumbs down. It was not for me.
I don't know. Like it's just like the Black Widow. I like the first trailer better. I mean, there was some stuff of this that I enjoyed. I mean, like you said, I'm gonna watch it, but it's not high up on my list as far as I gotta watch it.
The CGI looked awful.
Yeah. Well, I got that from the first trailer.
I don't think I ever watched the first trailer, to be honest.
You're missing out.
Bill, what'd you think?
Oh, Black Widow.
No, the Jungle Cruise trailer.
Oh, that. Oh,
It blocked it out completely.
It was all right. The CGI was a bit funky, but you know, like the movie hasn't came out yet, so they're probably gonna render some stuff or something.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that the CGI gets better. We're not gonna get this movie till like 2023, so it doesn't matter. But
especially with a Disney production, you will expect them to put money into this.
Yeah.
Especially with the names they have attached to it.
Right. So then we also got a new trailer for Soul. I have not been super excited for this movie. I was more excited for this one than I was Onward. The first trailer got me intrigued, but I wasn't completely sold. This trailer did sell me on it. I'm all in on this movie now.
The animation looked beautiful. Just with the lighting and everything, my God, like it was just like, man, this really looks really beautiful.
They had me until the end when they give away, which I don't know. I thought it was a twist, but it's like I didn't want to know that he's still alive. Like I don't remember.
Yeah,
if that was,
I wish they hadn't done that, but
because that would have been a nice like big reveal later. Like, oh snap.
well, I feel like the first trailer that they put out was before he got in the accident.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I
what
remember the first trailer, I was like, did this guy just fucking die in a Pixar movie? Like, did he just,
Yeah.
he just fell in that hole? And then, like, you know, we get this one, and it's afterwards. But now you're kind of like, is the third trailer going to show me what the end of the movie?
I mean, you know he's gonna live.
Well, I mean, I know it's a Pixar movie, but
So, I mean, if you hadn't told me that he was alive, like it would have been a nice twist to see.
yeah.
So, like, other than, I mean, it looks good. Other than that, that kind of threw me off.
I'm surprised. This is coming out in the summer, right? It's supposed to come out in the summer.
For now.
See, I don't know why you would do that either. Like, they've put some weird Pixar dates this year. Because I would put, like, one in the summer, one in the fall, and you put one in the spring, one in the summer.
Well, see, they did that with Inside Out and Good Dinosaur. Nobody came to see it.
When did Good Dinosaur come out?
November?
Spring?
November. Inside Out came out in summer.
Well, they put Coco in November, too, though.
But that was just one movie, though.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was around, like, I think it wasn't in between Halloween and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got a little bit of both with that theme.
Gotcha. Jumping back to Marvel real quick. Richard E. Grant joins the Loki series. For me, like Richard E. Grant's a good actor. I thought he was really great in Can You Ever Forgive Me? He was okay in Logan, and then I've only actually seen him in those two things and Rise of Skywalker. I know there's a bunch of older things that he's been in as well. I'm not going to get super excited though, because I thought he would be exceptional in Rise of Skywalker, and that's not his fault. But yeah, that let me down.
That's twice you've recognized that movie. I'm surprised.
I'm only going to recognize it on this show, not in my personal life.
I don't know. Loki's still my most anticipated Disney show. So
yeah, it's mine as well right now.
Owen Wilson.
Yeah, I'm curious what he's doing in the show.
It doesn't matter.
I know there's a new organization, something to do with time.
Yeah.
In the series as well, which is interesting. I'm really looking forward to how this is actually going to tie into the rest of the MCU. I feel like it's going to this and WandaVision are both going to end with the cliffhanger that ties in with Doctor Strange. So,
you think both of them will?
I think it will. I think Loki's going to be a big part of Doctor Strange as well. I just don't think they've said it yet because they don't want to spoil what's going to happen in the show.
And they'll probably tie into other future Marvel properties like Fantastic Four and all that.
Maybe you mean with Loki or just
with Loki and also like the multiverse, because like I forgot, I think Doctor Doom in Dark Avengers goes up against a witch from hundreds or 1,000 years ago.
I'll tell you what I don't want though, and this is like a little bit off topic. I don't want Loki coming back into the main timeline of the MCU.
No.
Like, I'm excited about this show, and I'm excited to see how like it ties into Doctor Strange into multiverse and like that character interacting with this version of Loki. But I don't want like this Loki coming to the main timeline and like living in it and like coming in contact with the new Thor or like our main Thor and because that would take away from me from his death and all of that. Like, I like the way they're doing it. Leave it like that. Don't want him coming back in the main timeline.
Do you think he'll be like a different Loki as far as like the way he acts, like Thanos was?
Yeah. I feel like the Loki we're gonna get in the show. I mean, obviously it's the same Loki that we saw in Endgame that got the Tesseract and disappeared. So you got to think back to how Loki was at that point in the MCU and the Avengers. So and this is before Dark World too. So he hasn't lost his mom yet. So he's pretty bad at this point.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out. And I'm curious too. Like, do you think who all do you think we'll see in the Loki show? Because there's a Thor alive in this timeline. Do you think we'll see him?
I have no idea.
Do you think we'll see Thanos?
Yeah, we might pause to see Thanos.
Because he's got that Tesseract.
Yeah. Thanos is just gonna be like, where the fuck is he?
I mean, you could see Thanos, but I don't know if it'll be like I don't see this show going on for that many seasons though.
I don't think so either. That's why I think it's going to tie directly into the multiverse and like
Falcon and Winter Soldier shouldn't be more than one season. I wouldn't think.
I think that show will be one season, but then I think that show will spin off into something else as well.
Because I told you what I think was going to happen with that. So
what?
I don't know. Like where he actually becomes Captain America.
Falcon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what'll happen by the end of the show.
At that point, you can't really call it Falcon and Winter Soldier.
But then I think, that might spin off to eventually him getting his own Captain America movie or show. And Winter Soldier doing his own thing as well.
And possibly that's what the show is for. Is just kind of like, all right, let's see how people will react to this. Then from that, they might make a movie depending on how the reaction is.
And I also think that show's going to be heavily setting up Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Or Dark Avengers, whatever they're going to be doing.
Yeah.
So, the next thing I want to talk about here is, well, I'll talk about it real quickly. Disney's Peter Pan and Wendy found its Pan and Wendy. I didn't list the actor and actress here because they haven't really played in anything. I don't really know them. I don't think you guys do.
Yeah, so Mia Jovovich is and Paul W.S. Anderson's daughter.
Okay, well, still, I don't know what they play. That's why that. Okay.
I think she had, Mia Jovovich had a post on Instagram. I think I couldn't find it on IMDb, but she had said that I think her daughter is also the young Natasha Romanoff in the Black Widow movie.
Yes, I think you're right. I think I saw that somewhere on IMDb or Twitter or something. So that's
that'll give us a preview of if she can act or not.
I don't really have much opinion on it. I know the kid has brown hair, and he better have red hair in the film, or I'm going to be pissed.
It should have been Roman Griffith Davis, to be honest.
I don't know. I don't care. The kid, I mean, if you put red hair on him, he looks kind of like Peter Pan, but
should be a trilogy too, so they messed that up.
It also got a director, which is David Lowery, who he's directed 3 bigger things. First was A Ghost Story, which is incredible. You guys should check it out. The second thing he directed was Old Man with a Gun. I think it's the second thing. I don't know. But Old Man with a it was okay. And then the more recent thing that I would look at to see how he's going to be with this film is Pete's Dragon. And I didn't like Pete's Dragon. You liked it more than I did, I feel like.
When we watched it.
Okay.
But he said nothing. I haven't seen A Ghost Story.
Ghost Story's good, but
it doesn't translate to Peter Pan.
No, right.
Pete's Dragon is what you're showing me right now, and I'm not excited at all.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
It should have been a trilogy from the start anyway. So never gonna happen.
Will Robert Redford come back in this film
as Hook?
I don't know. He's been in 2 of his other movies, so.
I did see. It's just a rumor, though. Joaquin Phoenix is being rumored for the role for Hook. And then,
I'm fine with it. It's not my choice, but I'm fine with it.
But I do hope, because the article mentioned that hopefully he would also play the dad in real life, which I'm hoping they keep that all the same act like that, like they did with the original.
Yeah, I would like that.
Because it's kind of like the Jumanji, like the dad is like a representation of the villain. So I'm really hoping they keep that vibe.
Yeah, I hope they do that. Michael Fassbender has still been my choice to play Hook. But
never gonna happen, dude.
Well.
Oh, speaking of Michael Fassbender, did you see he might actually be in a good movie this time?
What's the movie?
I forgot who it was with. But
damn,
yeah.
Got my hopes up.
Now I'm excited.
Shit, either way, I just remember what I recall from my memory and everything. I was just like,
well, if you think about it, bring it back to us. The next thing is And I know, Ethan, you've seen Bill. Have you checked out Invisible Man yet?
I have not.
It's really good. But Blumhouse is also making a Dracula film. That's what they're going to do next. And Karen Kuwasama is directing the film. She directed films such as most recently Destroyer with Nicole Kidman, Eon Flux back in the early 2000s, Charlize Theron, and her most famous film is Jennifer's Body with Megan Fox, came out mid 2000s, which I actually do like. Yeah, put your thumb up.
Garbage.
It was a good movie. You should rewatch it.
If Keanu Reeves is not Dracula, this movie should not be made.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't really know what they're doing with the film. I feel it's going to be a modern take, so I don't even know if you're going to be in Transylvania and all this stuff. Like, I wonder if it'll be in the same universe as Invisible Man. Will they stick with that vibe, like a scientist, like realistic stuff like that, or I don't know what they're going to do with it. I'm curious and somewhat excited.
They're going to put Keanu Reeves in it, or it's going to be garbage.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
But I could see a lot of other people playing. I could see Michael Fassbender once again playing Dracula.
He's already been in a Dracula movie. He knows the property. Let's bring it back.
hey
Yeah,
Matt,
I don't know if he could do
real
it.
quick. The Michael Fassbender movie is Next Goal Wins, and the director and writer will be Taika Waititi.
Interesting. Well,
And like the cast will involve like Elizabeth Moss and Armie Hammer.
Oh, you lost me.
lost you with Armie Hammer.
Oh,
Well, that just goes ahead and kills that Star Wars idea too. That he was supposed to be making that Star Wars movie.
yeah.
But yeah, give me a Michael Fassbender or Taika Waititi movie. Bring his career back. That'll be good.
He's going to drop out. Sam Rockwell will take the role.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
You know it's going to happen.
We also got here a little bit of Mandalorian talk. Giancarlo Esposito talks about the Darksaber action. So he'll be using the Darksaber a lot in season 2 of Mandalorian. He's been getting into it so much that he's broken several of the props. What does this guys excite you about season 2? Ethan, I know you haven't seen season 1, so let's not talk any like
Super excited.
big spoilers here. But Abel, what do you think?
Well, speaking of the saber, I just wonder how they're gonna like discuss how he got the saber, because like I think the last person that I recall having it was Darth Maul from the Clone Wars.
There was apparently another character in Rebels that ends up getting it. I don't know her name because I haven't watched it all the way through. It's a big character. She ends up getting it. And I know I read people were talking about how like he got that from her, that he must have killed her. As well, other stuff we find out in the first season. But people are speculating either he killed her or she's actually the person that made Mando's outfit.
This show's only 4 hours long, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Might be able to knock it out this weekend.
Yeah, should watch it. I think, and I've been curious too, especially with like them talking about him breaking the props. Is he just attacking civilians, like in the show and stuff with that, or is this saber on saber action?
Probably saber in action.
Because if so, that's a big spoiler. Who's he fighting with, or that's a big thing that we don't know anything about. Like who has a saber he's fighting with?
Oh. I doubt they're ever going to bring in Mark Hamill. I really doubt they're going to bring him in.
When The Mandalorian started, well, not the first episode, but once we got past that, Ethan, I know you know about Baby Yoda, so.
Yep. I don't see the appeal.
I thought the only way the show could end was him getting Baby Yoda to Luke. I didn't see any other way like that the story would go, but at this point, I don't think that's actually going to happen. I think eventually, especially with Dave Filoni being attached to the series, I think the direction they're going to head is they're going to bring Ahsoka in live action, and the Mandalorian, and that's eventually what will happen with Baby Yoda. Is he'll take the child to her instead of Luke. That way, they can still be unattached from the films. Plus, if Luke was to take Baby Yoda, he would be dead. So, I mean, that's kind of a bummer.
Don't make it.
Just made a lot of fanboys cry.
Oh no.
Yeah, I thought we would have some Rise of Skywalker news to talk about this week. But,
Blu-ray comes out in a few days, so there you go.
Well, I need a new coaster for my beer.
Are you gonna get a physical copy?
No, I'm not kidding. Fuck that movie, dude.
You fucked that movie?
Yeah.
Oh man. Did you wear protection?
So yeah, I have 3 more topics and 2 of them are going to be heavy. So what time we got here? 8:22. Let's talk about Batman photo leaks. We got a couple photo leaks here. The first leaked photo for Batman was Arkham. Well, that wasn't the first one actually, but it's either Arkham Asylum or Orphanage, because there's actually things that say Arkham Orphanage and stuff like that, and so people are speculating that it might be that. But also, I've heard rumors that this is actually going to be the new Arkham Asylum. Did you guys look at those photos? Have you seen them?
Yeah, I saw the one the guy posted on like Instagram when he got on set.
Yeah.
It could be both, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't really excite me or anything. It's just the photos are there. If it's an orphanage, I'm curious what that means. I hope we don't get Robin in this movie. I do want to see him eventually, and I wanted to see him in the Ben Affleck version, but with this being a younger Batman, I don't need to see a Robin with Pattinson, especially in the first movie. I don't really know what else it could be. That's why I don't know if it's maybe just him looking at orphans and thinking about his past, or
it could be with Penguin. I mean,
we don't know anything. Yeah, we don't know anything. Or it could be the Riddler. Maybe he's an orphan.
Because I mean, you could go with those vibes from Batman Returns.
God, I hope not.
Catwoman.
Looks that way, but like that he was an orphan, parents gave him away. But I mean, it would be more realistic that it's the Riddler, since he's going to be the main villain.
Right. I didn't think about that until just.
And it looks like it's really old, so I don't see it being Robin either, because it doesn't seem like it's present day.
Okay.
To me, so. Well,
I mean, that's definitely the vibe I got. I just didn't know if this was like before they went in and started like changing stuff around on set, or if this was actually how they shot it, because this is definitely not a functional orphanage. These kids are goners.
Well, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
You turn out.
The other photo was a picture of a guy with a bunch of stuff on him, and it says "No More Lies" written across him, and it's apparently supposed to be one of Riddler's first victims in the film. This excites me. It definitely gives some Seven type vibes going on.
Yeah. Definitely
what I want to see with the Riddler in this film, and apparently he's supposed to be going after politicians like that. Something. I think I'm gonna go take one.
They're gonna have that allegory, man.
So we know that Peter Skarsgård, that's his name, is playing a politician in the film. He's playing a DA, or the district attorney.
Yep.
And a lot of people have speculated that he's Harvey Dent, and they came out and said that he had a different name, and people have speculated, well, are they lying? He actually is Harvey Dent. Or is he playing a different character entirely? Or is that different character going to end up being their version of Two-Face, which I would be so pissed about and would be completely out. But I don't think that's what's happening. I think this is the guy who's the DA before Harvey Dent.
Yeah, he's going to get killed.
Yeah, definitely. Riddler's killing him in the film.
Because he hasn't lied about. Matt Reeves has been pretty open about who the characters are. Like when he casts them, he gives indication who they are. So, and I don't think, because close as he is to different comics right now, I don't see you not calling him Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
Like this isn't going to be a Spider-Man MJ kind of deal.
I hope not.
You're going to hate it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what's happening. I think they're setting him up in the movie. He's getting killed, and then that's going to leave an after credit scene, or even at just the end of the film, setting up how Batman Year One, that comic ends with Harvey Dent, talking about his campaign and everything, which then leads into the next film, which is, or not next film, the next comic, which is The Long Halloween. Yeah. So I know this particular movie is not really looking so much at Batman Year One as it is looking at Batman Year Zero, but I think it's going to be more of a blend between the two. But we've already seen a lot of Year One and Batman Begins, so I think they're going to lean heavily into Year Zero instead. And then I think the sequel, I think they're going to look at Long Halloween for the vibe of the whole trilogy more than just this film. But I think the sequel is going to be more in line with that comic in particular. And at least I hope so. I would love to see this trilogy overall be and this is how I would do a Young Batman trilogy, be a parallel between Bruce Wayne and Harvey Dent, the whole trilogy, and their rise, Harvey Dent's rise and fall as his political career, and then turning into Two-Face, and Batman as well. So,
on with me.
So we'll see. Who do you guys think will be Harvey Dent?
No one.
I have no idea right now. Trying to think of like people I would want, and I don't really have anybody particular in mind.
Ryan Gosling.
He should be Batman. I'm tired of this.
That's not happening, but
I
would love to see him as Harvey Dent, especially going up with Pattinson.
I think it was rumored he was in no good like talking for Thor: Love and Thunder, so probably they might go back to him. Marvel might go back to him for like other future properties down the line.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like he's wanted for a lot of stuff. He was wanted to play Joker in Suicide Squad, and he was like, "I'm good. I'll pass."
What is this bearskin rug line? I've got to say,
the best line in the movie.
That's not saying much.
And then, like with the John Krasinski thing, with him being Mr. Reed Richards, we're not sure what's going to happen with that. Ryan Gosling could possibly be Reed Richards. So
I could see it, but
it'll be John Krasinski.
Oh yeah, see, we're gonna get John Krasinski to direct and star in Fantastic Four. He's gonna co-write the script with Danny McBride, who's gonna play the Thing. It'll be cool.
You hadn't convinced me on that yet, but
well.
Danny McBride.
See, yep.
Yes, that's the Thing.
Out of all this people out there, I mean,
he can do it, man. He's got the comedic chops. He can be dramatic.
If I'm looking for the Thing to be from West Virginia, yeah, I'm all down. But no. But
the next topic we'll be talking about is another comic book related property. Sony has once again hired the Amazing Spider-Man 2 screenwriter Roberto Orci for a Spidey spinoff. Apparently, this Spidey spinoff will be different from the world that Venom and Morbius are going to be a part of. We don't know for sure, but they hinted that it's different from that. Yeah, are you guys super excited?
All right.
Well, these Spidey spinoffs, man. This shit is burning me more than dating a white girl. God.
Damn. Well, I did some research on this because at first I was like, nah, I don't want to see it. But I looked, he was one of the writers for Amazing Spider-Man 2. There was like 6.
Oh,
so,
I mean, he wrote some incredible other stuff too, like Transformers, Dark of the Moon.
Well,
Revenge of the Fallen.
No, he didn't do all those.
He did 2 of them. I know the first one and then one of the other ones.
The first 2.
Okay.
But here's what I'm wondering, because you got a free agent right now. He has worked with J.J. Abrams 3 different times.
Yeah.
So could he direct the new Spider-Man movie?
J.J. Abrams?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Because he worked with him on Mission Impossible 3 and then the first 2 Star Trek reboots.
Oh, shit.
I think JJ is going to WB. I think he'll end up directing either the new Justice League whenever they do that, or the new Superman. One or the other. I think JJ is going to be doing that next.
Both.
Yeah, you know how they like to pick the same director to do several films in their properties. So
I mean, the only way he could ever do both is if he does Superman, then if that is successful, they're gonna be like, all right, we trust you. Here are the keys.
Or the other way around.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make much sense, but I could see it happening. But I don't really see JJ coming to Sony because I don't really know how like he's relationship with the studio right now is, and like if there have been any talks and stuff like that. But
that just made me curious. He's already worked with him 3 times, so.
It's also not, and this is another reason I would say that JJ is not going to be doing it. It's not a Spider-Man movie. If you were telling me that this was a Spider-Man movie, like a Spider-Man reboot, whatever, and this guy was writing it, and I would say maybe they're bringing JJ in. But given that it's a spinoff, probably not even in the same universe as Venom and Morbius, I have no idea what this even is. So I can't imagine that JJ would come in to direct, like, say, I'm trying to think of a character this could be. Cardiac. Let's just say it's Cardiac, because that's the character that I think they could make a movie off of. He's like a anti-hero within the Spider-Man characters. Make a Cardiac movie. And this guy's writing the screenplay. No, I don't see JJ coming in and being like, yeah, I want to make this. I don't think JJ reads comics. I don't really know.
He doesn't read the Star Wars books.
Yeah, so I don't know how much he would care. Although, wasn't he and his son doing something comic book related? Do you guys remember what that was?
I don't remember.
What was that one with the evil Superman one? What was he like?
It might have been. It was something to do. Yeah, it might have been Superman. It was something to do with him and his son were making something, but I don't think it was actual movie. I think it was like
nothing original.
I know he does some
to do that.
some shows. So
he makes original characters though. Kylo is one of the best characters. Well, we'll get into our character of the decade. That's a tease for you guys. But yeah, even though he wasn't the only writer of Amazing Spider-Man 2, there are other people to blame there, including the other writers, the director, Sony. There's a lot of people to blame for the failure of Amazing Spider-Man 2. But I can't believe being a studio, and you look at somebody who was a part of that film, which not only was just a piece of shit, but it caused you to all your plans with that franchise, with the spinoffs, the Sinister Six movie you had planned, with actually a good director, all of that to just fall to the ground, and you had to go to Disney to reboot Spider-Man. All that failed because of this one film. You're gonna go look and pick a screenwriter from that to come back and write another movie for you.
Yep.
And be another Spidey movie.
Yep.
It just blows my mind. I don't know how. And it's not he made one mistake, and you look at his filmography, and he's made some amazing films on there. Like he made Citizen Kane or Jaws. I don't know. Just dude wrote Transformers.
You would give some respect to Sam Witwicky.
We'll give no respect. I mean, he wrote the first, the JJ Star Trek. I liked that.
Sequel.
Yeah, that too.
And the sequel, which I think was even better, but.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. The 3 times he's worked with J.J. Abrams have been good.
Mission Impossible 3 was fine, but I don't know if I would say the screenplay was great.
It was definitely a different screenplay.
It's definitely better than the first 2.
No. It's better than the first one. The second one is the second best in the series.
God. He's smoking crack.
That's another. You will give some respect to that movie as well.
God, I'll give respect to the opening scene, and that's it.
Give me a better opening scene. You can.
The Dark Knight Rises.
Not even close.
The Dark Knight, Jaws, Scream.
Bane wishes he was Ethan Hunt catching sunglasses.
Okay.
You have no idea.
And the last topic that we're going to talk about here on Happy Hour is one that I am very passionate about. It's also going to tie a little bit into possibly our next On the Rocks episode. But it's the fact that a little bit ago we heard they were making a new Scream film. And we didn't know if that would be a Scream reboot, a continuation, a revamp, whatever this was going to be. We still don't know. I want to lay that out there. But it's being titled as a Scream reboot. But if you look at the articles, they all say they don't know whether it's a reboot or continuation or rebootquel, what have you. But we do now know who the directors of this film is going to be. We have Tyler Gillette. I don't know how to pronounce people's names. Matt Bettinelli, Ulfin. Both of these guys directed Ready or Not most recently, which I know, Ethan, you watched. You liked it.
Yep.
They also directed VHS, which I think I might have seen, but I don't remember anything about it. So they're directing the film. I don't have much opinion on it because I haven't seen really their work. But also, Kevin Williamson is coming back, the original screenwriter of the 1, 2, and 4. He had some involvement in 3, but we don't know how much. He's coming back and producing this film. What do you guys think?
I'll watch it.
Well, that's solid enough.
I know you are really passionate about this series.
Yeah, I mean, Scream is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Only two
I
good
have
movies.
no knowledge of this, so I'm just going to spectate this debate.
Not watched any of them?
I have. I've seen like clips in here, but it just never caught my interest.
Okay, well, you'll go on Netflix and you will watch Scream 1 and 2 at least.
Because that's all you need to watch.
I'll give the first one a shot.
You'll like the first one. I think you will.
Okay.
I definitely think you will like the first one. The first one to me is, I mean, it's one of my favorite films, so I think it's perfect, 5 out of 5. But I mean, I'll stand by that. I love the screenplay. I think it's incredible, original, fresh. The second one I think is really good. The third one is the weakest in the trilogy. I barely like it, but then we get to the fourth one. I like the fourth one a lot. It's not as good as the first two, but I still like it a lot. But
What a snooze fest it is.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude. You also you gave
I gave what? Go ahead and say it. Whatever. Don't hold back.
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's the dude who gave Double Tap 4.5 stars.
But aren't you the same guy that gave Every Day 4 stars? Yeah, look how that grade went down.
I gave Every Day 4 stars.
Yeah. So what now?
Damn, ustedes son los hijos de la chingada. Ay, ay, ay.
Well, I've seen your letterbox, buddy. You got a lot of 5 stars in that are questionable.
Oh yeah, I mean shit, man. Some of them it's just goes like, oh man, some beautiful pieces of shit, man.
But Zombieland Double Tap, I didn't say it was that good. I just liked it that much.
You gave it 4.5 stars.
I've been on fucking letterbox for months though.
Now, if I'm being like how good it was, probably 3.5.
Like 2.5.
Oh, how dare you!
I gave it more than that, but it was. I'm not watching it again. I'll just say that.
You'll watch it and you'll like it.
But back to Scream. My main opinion on this goes to whether or not the film is a continuation, is it a reboot, or is it a rebootquel? Because if it's a continuation, then I'm interested and somewhat excited. Especially that Kevin Williams is coming back to produce. Because I love the franchise. I do think it should continue. I wanted to continue it myself, but, dreams die, so.
Damn, man.
Let the past die.
So like California dream too is like shit. God damn it! Don't give up. Don't give up.
But so yeah, if it's a continuation, I'll be here for it. If it's a rebootquel, I'm out. If it's a reboot completely, I'm out. Like, so.
What if
I
it's
think
is
you'll
it,
watch it either
what
way.
if it's a reboot from Blumhouse or A24?
I think it is
Not-
Blumhouse, isn't it?
Oh
It
shit!
won't be.
I think it is Blumhouse,
They're gonna be on that $5 budget.
but I'm not sure. I think this was originally a Weinstein film as well, so we'll see how the.
Ooh.
Yeah. But this ties into our next episode of On the Rocks, which is actually not our next episode. It'll be the episode, not the next episode, but the next of On the Rocks, and we'll be talking about rebootquels. So that will be coming up for you guys. And the idea of rebootquels, do we agree with it? Do we not? Give some examples of rebootquels. Which, if you don't know what a rebootquel is, it is when you have a film, the new Halloween film is an example. You have a film that's a reboot of the franchise, but it's a sequel as well. So we'll be talking about that. But that's our episode this week. We had a lot of topics. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We have happy hour every Friday. So come back, check it out, and we'll see you guys next time.